at this point in the season, now that you're the everyday second baseman, how are you feeling defensively at the plate? How are those two correlating, or are you keeping them totally separate?
I try to keep them totally separate, and I feel good, but every single day there's something to improve on and to get better at. Both sides, hitting and defensively. So it's just I think the importance of my work every day. Getting here and doing the things I need to do to keep getting better. That's really what's on my mind and kind of what I do every single day.
Is there a level of comfortability? I don't even know if that's a word. Knowing kind of where you're going to be every day in the field and loosely where you're going to be in the lineup.
I think it helps me plan like my day and what I need to work on. Like last year, bouncing around and being mostly in the outfield, between center and left, and then some at second. It would change my routine and my schedule a little bit with what I need to work on that particular day. But being at second base, every day, I think really helps me focus in on what I need to do, each and every day.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay, thanks, Emily. On to Jeff.
Nick, you had some Nate Lowe history before he was acquired. Are you seeing now what you saw then, or is this a better version?
Yeah, I played with Nate when we played together in the Rays organization in Montgomery in 18. He was between three levels that year, between high A, double A in Montgomery with me, and then he got moved up to triple A because he was swinging the bat so well. And then we played together in Durham in 19 as well. And Nate is a great hitter. I think he's definitely demonstrated that through this season so far. He has a knack for driving runs in. I think you've also seen that. His ability to, with runners in scoring position, his ability to get those runs in and get a lot of runs in. That's something that I saw in 18 and 19 playing with him, and that I continue to see this season, and it's fun to watch. He's a fun hitter to watch, and he's a big part of the lineup.
Thanks, Nick.
Let's go to Evan Grant.
Hey, Nick. How would you assess the performance of the Rangers' middle infield to this point?
Not something that I've thought about really yet. So kind of thinking about it through right now. I think between Izzy and I mean collectively the entire infield and the whole team. I mean, it's a team that plays really hard. So I mean, from a middle infield standpoint, Izzy really gets after it every single day. The way that he approaches his preparation, and then the way that he goes out and plays the game, how hard he plays it, how locked in he is from pitch to pitch. Offensively, but especially defensively, he's really locked in. So I think to assess the middle infield, I think we're playing hard, giving it our all every day, and still working to get better.
The manager said a few minutes ago that you both kind of play with a chip on your shoulder, and I know Izzy does, but I think we all voted you most polite Ranger, so I never would consider you a chip on the shoulder kind of guy. Do you play with a chip on your shoulder right now, and why?
I don't know. I've never I'm just always trying to be the best player that I can be, and that's kind of how I view it. That's just personally how I look at it. Like, it's never, for me, it's not like something to prove to anybody or that's kind of not my focus. My focus is always just like taking care of the things that I can take care of and control the things that I can control, and then get the most ability that I can out of what I can. That's kind of how I view it. So yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
Let's go to Jared.
Nick, I'm curious, how do you feel like you are a different hitter or a better hitter this year compared to last year?
Also something I haven't really thought about like from year to year yet. So I got to think about that. Yeah, I'm kind of always, I think throughout my whole career, I've, tried to do the same thing, just put good swings on a pitch that I can do something with. I think, if anything, maybe a little differently this year, just trying to ride the wave of the ups and downs a little bit better, like whether that's a couple, strikeouts in a row or hitting a couple line drive missiles in a row that get caught, right? Like where, to in the past maybe dwell on that a little bit or think about that, trying to separate my at-bats the best I can, just, here's the next at-bat. And I think that's something I'm working on and that, I think is a little bit of a change.
One thing, I know numbers don't tell the whole story, so curious your thoughts on how you've made adjustments to this. But one area the numbers say that you've gotten a lot better at is breaking balls that are low in the zone. And Woody's talked about, and the hitting guys have talked about you improving your ability to hit the low pitch as opposed to the high pitch. What are the things you've done to work on that or to get better at that? Because the numbers are pretty stark in that, that's become a strength for you.
Yeah, I have not looked at the numbers, but it is something that I know in the past that I had struggled with. It hadn't been one of my strengths. The high fastball is kind of something that I've always handled. The four-seamer at the top of the zone is something I've always handled. So, the last couple off seasons, there's been an emphasis on, the breaking balls or the sinker that's coming down and in, the righty sinker coming down and in. There's been an emphasis on focusing on that. A lot of it, I think, has to do with timing and starting a little bit earlier to see and recognize that, and kind of as opposed to trying to do something with it, let my eyes see that pitch and just let my body react. So I think the recognition of it, seeing more of it, seeing more sliders, in the off season from a machine or pitches or sinkers or pitches down at the bottom of the zone, seeing those pitches, I think has helped. Just the more I've been able to see it, I've been able to recognize earlier and then, put good swings on it.
Thanks, Nick.
Let's go to Alex.
Hey, Nick, I've asked a couple of pitchers this, but I want to get a hitter's perspective. When you're facing guys like you did in the Rays organization, people that you've kind of come up with, do you feel like as a hitter you have more of an advantage than a pitcher does because you know what they like to do, they know what you like to do?
I don't know if there's an advantage like one way or the other, but there's I think that there can be there's experience there, right? Like when you face a guy that maybe you faced him a lot, or a guy that you've played with, and like you mentioned the Rays, like playing behind. I played defense behind a lot of the Rays guys. I see how they attack hitters. I see how they attack different types of hitters. I think you just see kind of what they like to do, what they're trying to do, and that can help form your own plan based on that information. So I don't know if there's an advantage one way or the other because hey, they watched you hit too, and like they saw how you had success. So I don't think that there's an advantage one way or the other, but I think it does help formulate a plan, based on that experience of seeing them.
Thanks, Nick.
Levi.
Hey, Nick. The Rangers hired Darren Wellman from Baseball Savant yesterday. I was just curious, as a player, is that a site you ever go on to look at things?
Yeah, every once in a while I'll click around on there. I try not to go on baseball sites too often during the season, but especially Baseball Savant's one that you can get sucked into and click on everything forever, just an endless rabbit hole of information, stuff that you didn't even know they kept information about. I've been on the site, and they do a lot of cool things. So yeah, I don't go on it very often, but every once in a while I'll check it out.
Is there any stat in particular that you remember discovering and being like, oh wow, I didn't know that they even kept track of that?
I know about the outs above average. Last year when I was playing the outfield, that was kind of the first time that I had dug into it, and the staff in our analytics department also digs into it. Probably similar information. So kind of getting a combination of the information that that was presented, but that was the outs above average in the outfield was something that I thought was interesting. And then you can kind of they based on your starting position and the angles of the ball and the angles of the ball off the bat and the speed. I think there's a lot of information. So that was that's one stat that I was oh, this is interesting to look through.
Sarah.
Hey Nick, just to follow up on the questions Jared was asking you, I know big picture it's kind of hard to pinpoint one thing that might be helping you offensively, but have you had an aha moment or a click, a big game or something where you feel like the gears really shifted?
No. This game is so, you feel different every single day. Some days you feel great and you don't hit great or you don't play great. Some days you feel terrible and you hit a couple home runs and make diving plays. So it's there's not a particular moment that I can point to. I'm just trying to get better every single day. I'm trying to keep improving. I don't think really any time in this game there's I figured it out, because I don't think you never figure it out, right? So you're always trying to keep getting better and keep figuring it out, but you never figure it out, or there's never a secret aha moment.
And then tomorrow is Mother's Day, so I was just curious if you have a favorite Mother's Day moment or something, a little anecdote about what this day means to you and your mom.
Yeah, my mom is she's in town. She'll be at the game tomorrow. I think a lot of Mother's Days have been, revolved around baseball. Her coming to the park to watch baseball, or even my sister played softball, for up through until college, in college, or she, so my mom would go visit her sometimes too. So, and another Mother's Day at the ballpark is awesome. She helped me, get to this point, and her and my dad, they've done so much to help me. So it's it's cool that she'll be able to be here and be at the game, and get to see her.
Any plans to do anything with her when she's in town?
No, just pretty much watch some baseball.
Okay, last one, Evan.
Is there anything that you feel like, here's another philosophical question for you, but is there anything you feel like in your game that has rubbed off on Izzy, or from Izzy's game that you feel like has rubbed off on you?
I think for me, talk that maybe Izzy has rubbed off on me. Listening to Izzy talk about defense, and just how locked in he is, the things that he looks for, whether it's swing, things that he sees in a guy's swing, or the pitch, what a pitcher's ball does. He's so in tune and so locked into some of those details that allow him to have so much success defensively. So he's shared a lot of information about that. Just trying to help me out. I think that's something that I've taken from him. Seeing how locked in I can be. To match that. I mean, he's on a whole nother level of locked in, like I've never even seen before, which is pretty cool. But some of that he shared with me has helped me too.
And then the last thing, speaking of Baseball Savant, I'm just looking at Baseball Savant right now, and it says that Nick Solak has had more pitches outside of the zone called strikes on him this year than any player in baseball. Do you have an explanation for that?
No, I didn't know that was a. There, you could tell Levi. I didn't even know that was a stat. So, I'm not gonna go click on that one because that one, I'm not gonna go click on that one.
Okay, thanks, Nick.
Thanks.
All right, guys, that will conclude